Let me first start off by saying, again, this is not intended to be an extra step on a typical week to week. This is additional help for those that are maybe playing a part that is harder to hear, that we can't necessarily identify as easily on Planning Center. So let me give you this example of what I'm talking about. On Planning Center, as you're used to, if this is the desktop version, you're going to see we're playing "Oh Come to the Altar" in the key of B, and we're going to go over to this sidebar and see the different tracks that we can listen to. Electric 1, keys 1, piano. The only problem is if you're playing an instrument like electric guitar, it can sometimes be difficult to hear which electric guitar is playing which part. And in this case, there are 3 parts. So what you should have gotten from me is an email that looks something like this. If you scroll to the bottom, you're going to click Open in Rehearsal Mix. And once you get to Rehearsal Mix, you're going to see our entire library, all the songs that we're currently using for weekend services, and in all the keys that we are typically playing them in. Again, this will be added to and subtracted as we go on, but I want to use that example of "Oh Come to the Altar" for this video. So when I get down to "Oh Come to the Altar," notice that I'm talking about the original live arrangement. That's the one we typically play, though we do have a radio version that we sometimes use. So it's important to always pay attention to which arrangement is being attached through Planning Center. Let's use this as our basic example, the key of B. And if you were being scheduled to play electric, this is something that if we have one electric player, I typically just allow them to choose which part they would like to play. Obviously, they can't play all 3 parts at once. Sometimes they can conceivably play 2 of the parts if they're looping something or if the parts just aren't in contrast or conflict with one another. But it's difficult to always know exactly what parts are even being played. So I don't want the track to ever run over somebody that's playing. And if an electric guitar player comes in here and they listen to this particular part, let's skip forward until we see them actually come in. You hear that riff? That's the EG1 part. You can tab over. EG2 is going to come in right here. Playing this pretty complex line. Or EG3 is just playing those big rhythms. Again, hopefully you can see how this could be helpful for differentiating the different parts. It might not be useful to everybody, but this could be more useful than you realize. Let's use vocalist as an example. If we want to hear the actual tenor part that the lead vocalist is going to be singing, let's hear the primary harmony. You'll notice it hasn't even come in yet, but we're about to start verse 2. Verse. Leave behind your regrets and mistakes. Come today, there's no reason to wait. And as you can see, this can be incredibly helpful for figuring out the exact harmony that we might want a background vocalist to sing and when that harmony comes in. And there's lots of layers here that you can utilize. If you're a percussion player, a drum player, you can figure out who's doing which part. And again, in order for us to complement rather than compete with one another. Like I said at the very beginning, this is not intended to be something that is going to add to your week-to-week process, but it might be something that's helpful. And the other detail that I would say is having access to this at any given time allows for everybody on our team to practice and really get the words of these songs and the parts written on their heart so that when we come to play together on a weekend, we can really just be present in the moment, hearing what the congregation is doing as far as responding to the song, hearing each other on the platform, and just be as present and worshipful as possible. Thanks for watching.